manning the ham radio booth at the Hands-On Museum just up the street. Please welcome Dan Romanchik.
Thank you very much. When I tell people I'm a ham radio operator, they look at me like I'm Herman Munster here. And the next thing they say, do they still do that? Well, I'm here to tell you that we do still do that. In fact, there are more amateur radio operators in the US now than ever before, over 750,000. And we're doing cool things with new technologies, including satellites. One of the things that ham radio actually have been sending up satellites for over 50 years. But with the advent of the CubeSats, there are more satellites up there now than ever before. There's several dozen of them, and ham radio operators can talk to them. You don't need a lot of equipment either to talk to these satellites. All you need is a simple handheld transceiver and a hand-built antenna. One of the cool things that satellite operators do is activate Walmart parking lots. They go to Walmarts around the country and talk to other hams in Walmart parking lots. And they get extra points if they get the manager of the Walmart to come out and participate. We also have a geostationary satellite up now. And this is a very cool thing. It takes a little bit more equipment than the other satellites, but you can do lots of fancy things with it. Because radio equipment now is so small and portable, we have guys going up on summits and operating from the summits. This is a guy with his pet goats who haul his equipment up, and he talks to people all over the world with very simple equipment. Parks on the air. This is a friend of mine, Tom, who's operating from the Iona State Recreation Area. And, you know, what a beautiful spot, huh? I personally like to operate from lighthouses. And this is my operating position at the Point O'Bark Lighthouse up in the Thumb. And I had a great day there. And all this equipment fits in that red toolbox, which means I can take it almost anywhere I go. But we still do a lot of traditional ham radio, but with a modern twist. This is a software-defined radio. The radio itself is in the box on the left, and the box on the right is just the user interface. It's really just a PC. Because it's a PC, you can operate it with any computer. So you can operate remotely with your cell phone from anywhere in the world, as long as you have a cell phone connection. We also do some what are called digital modes. These are fancy computer-driven modes that really enhance the performance of amateur radio. You can operate with really poor band conditions and crummy antennas, and it works great. We're also setting up digital networks. Some of the Wi-Fi frequencies are actually in amateur radio bands, and we can set up these digital networks for public service events. And public service is still a big thing in ham radio. Here in Washtenaw County, we have an organization called Skywarn, and we send out ham radio operators around the country when there's severe weather, and we're the eyes and ears for the Washtenaw County Emergency Management Department. But we're still hackers. So I sometimes joke that ham radio operators are really the original hackers. Here you see some guys building some stuff. Tell you the truth, I'm not sure exactly what they're building, but they're very intent on it, aren't they? This is a radio that was built for hacking. For $129, you get a complete shortwave radio. But the fun is in making it your own. Making a box, and you can change, because it's built on an Arduino, you can change the software and the hardware. We hack antennas too. This is built from stuff you buy at any hardware store. For $5, you have a whole satellite antenna here. And while the technology is cool, it's still about personal connections. This is a group called Youngsters on the Air, which gathers young adults and teenagers where they play with radios but form personal connections. We also have a great local amateur radio community with two great clubs, the University of Michigan Club and the Aero Club. Here, Don is mentoring Ashley in how to make contacts on shortwave at Field Day. And we invite you to come to Field Day in June. Field Day is in June. My mission is to help people have fun with ham radio, as Ryan said. If you want to get into ham radio, please get in touch with me.